Hi everyone. For the researcher that I chose for our behavior biographist project is Julie S. Vargas, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about her. Julie is pretty cool. One of the things that she's most known for is for being the daughter of B.F. Skinner, who, as many of you probably know, is huge in our field. She was born in 1983 in Minnesota. She married Ernest Vargas. That's why she does not have Skinner's name. She is very highly educated. She has a bachelor's in music, a master's in music education, and a PhD in educational research. She was a faculty member at West Virginia University, where she was a professor for over 30 years alongside her husband. She was the president for a time of the Association of Behavior Analysis International, ABAI. She was one of the founding editors of The Behavior Analyst, a journal, and currently she is the president of the B.F. Skinner Foundation. So she's got a lot of stuff going on for her. I found a number of articles and one book that were written by Julie. Um, and in each one, I noticed that she does kind of take what her father did and the concepts that he came up with and his theories, and she kind of expands on them. Some of her articles are talking about the importance. He wrote a book called Verbal Behavior. So one of her articles is called Contributions of Verbal Behavior to Instructional Technology, which is where she just talked about the importance of what was in his book and what it has to do with technology and the instruction um, that is used. Um, she wrote A Behavioral Approach to the Teaching of Composition. That article was very neat. She talked about how she uses effective instruction delivery and positive reinforcement, and she talks about the negative effects of criticism on teaching, and basically she just talks about how to gain success for the students. Her and her husband co-authored an article called Programmed Instruction, What It Is and How to Do It, and that one was really neat. It talks about 5 different features of programmed instruction, the importance of all of them, and basically how to do it. The Road Less Traveled By is an article also written by Julie, and that is an article that talks about the beginnings of ABA, where it started, where it came from, kind of where it was headed, and the role that she played in that. And then the book I found was written by her is called Writing Worthwhile Behavioral Objectives, where she just talks about how to write objectives that are worthwhile. Okay, so a summary of her work. I talked a little bit about her articles. One thing that I noticed she does, she focuses heavily on effective instruction delivery. She's written articles about teaching teachers, about teaching parents, and just about teaching in a classroom, and the importance of effective instruction delivery when giving an instruction, and how that really kind of sets the stage for the learning that's going to be going on. Some of her articles, she talks about how without effective instruction delivery, the student is going to encounter minimal success. She talks about the importance of positive reinforcement also, where when the student or the individual gives the response that we're looking for, we like to reinforce them positively for that. So she talks about that importance a whole lot. She talks about verbal behavior and the difference between verbal behavior and a stimulus in the environment. So verbal behavior is always called, it involves another person, whereas other behavior does not. So she touches on that importance and basically how the effect that it has when you involve another person, and it's not just the individual that you're looking at their behavior. And then also she does a lot with programming, basically how to create programs, how to run them, how to have effective goals and objectives, and really how to carry them out. So she's done a good amount for the ABA field, and just with the behind the scenes stuff that we don't always think about. So I came up with 5 different interview questions, and it was kind of hard to think of these because when you're having the chance to create, when you have the chance to interview um, BF Skinner's daughter, you don't want to focus too much on him. So I kind of struggled coming up with questions, but I have them written here. So what I thought of was, what influence did growing up with B.F. Skinner play on the career path that you chose? Do you have any regrets with the career that you chose? She is an educator for most of her life, and I'd just like to know what her thoughts on that are, why she didn't um, pursue behavior analysis to become a behavior analyst. Um, is there anything you wish to study under the umbrella of behavior analysis that you did not get the chance to? So, like I said, everything that her work pretty much focuses on. Is there anything she wishes that she could have studied and didn't? How would you describe your teaching style and effectiveness compared to someone not familiar with the field? So basically, how effective does she think she is as a teacher, and how does she differ from someone who has no background in behavior? And then lastly, I kind of brought this up earlier. Do you ever wish you had gone on to practice or supervise as a behavior analyst, or are you content with your chosen path as an educator? I think that that's a big question, because she does take so much pride in education and being an educator and doing that effectively that I don't know. I would love to see her as a behavior analyst, and I just would wonder how she would be as one. And lastly, her importance to the field. I've talked a lot about her importance already, so this is kind of just a summary. Basically, her importance in the field is a lot of effective instruction delivery, verbal behavior, creating an effective learning environment for her students, um, teaching them effectively, reinforcing them appropriately and positively. Excuse me. And basically, that's it. Her importance is the fact that she is an educator, and she has such a huge tie with behavior analysis that she is changing the game for educators out there. So this is my presentation on Julie Vargas, and I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you.